Just another person who wants people to say, I knew him in high school, or I played ball with him back in the day, or even, I knew his sister once. Just another person who knew everybody, and everybody knew him, and now it's social security number, please, or could you spell that one more time, sir? Just another person who is so afraid to be remembered in the sense of, gee, I wonder what happened to him. We all thought he'd be the one of us to actually become somebody. We live in a society where it's the norm to spill everything, to use Facebook to define a relationship to the world, to blog your innermost thoughts and feelings to anyone who will read them, to update your Twitter with every single mundane detail of your day. Perhaps all of this overexposure validates our identities, or perhaps not. Somehow, amidst this publication of personal information, many of us still don't know ourselves. The poems Just Another Person by T.S. Hurfikens, How to Be Alone by Tanya Davis, Dog Problems by Sam Mead, Yellow Cat/Red Cat by Max Bemis, and Boston by Aaron Smith explore the loss of oneself and the possibility of being found again through learning to be alone. Don't you dare speak for someone you don't know. They feel it in the back of their throat. We know I can't construct a poem because words like girls get bored and run. C'est la vie! I say, I've got so many better things. I've got nothing. You should see me. I smoke myself to sleep, and so I walk the web in search of love, but always seem to end up stuck. I'm finding flaws in everyone. I've reached the point where all I want is to sleep around in hopes that I can catch back up. We're parallel lines. We're running in circles. We're never meant to cross. Start simple. Things you may have previously avoided based on your avoid being alone principles. We could start with the acceptable places. The bathroom, the coffee shop, the library, where you can stall and read the papers, where you can get your caffeine fix and sit and stay there, where you can browse the stacks and smell the books. You're not supposed to talk much anyway, so it's safe there. The lunch counter, where you will be surrounded by chow downers, employees who only have an hour and their spouses work across town, so they, like you, will be alone. When you're comfortable with eat lunch and run, take yourself out for dinner. A restaurant with linen and silverware. You're no less intriguing a person when you're eating solo dessert to wiping the whipped cream off the dish with your finger. In fact, some people at full tables will wish they were where you were. I've been meaning to tell you how the sky is pink here. Sometimes. Like the roof of a mouth about to chomp down on the crooked steel teeth of the city. If you are at first lonely, be patient. If you've not been alone much, or if when you were, you weren't okay with it, then just wait. You'll find it's fine to be alone once you're embracing it. And there's prayer and meditation. No one will think less if you're hanging with your breath seeking peace and salvation. Again, I watched my cousin, Greg, watch MTV inside his home. He makes fun of the hip-hop videos from the couch. He rides alone, stuck in the cushion of his cackling. He forgets his looming doubts. He has relied on this for years. He will not yank the carpet out. And I watched this dude each night, same table, who creates and crumples up. His eyes are wide from sipping endlessly his endless coffee cup. He feeds me quotes. That lonely goat. I watch him grazing by himself. I will not stop him when he rambles. I'm becoming one myself. Go to the movies, where it's dark and soothing, alone in your seat amidst a fleeting community, and then take yourself out dancing to a club where no one knows you. Stand on the outsides of the floor until the lights convince you more and more, and the music shows you. Dance like no one's watching, because they probably aren't, and if they are, assume it's with the best of human intentions. The way bodies move genuinely to beats is, after all, gorgeous and affecting. Dance until you're sweating, and beads of perspiration remind you of life's best things. Down your back, like a brook of blessings. I remember the desperate things we did, and that I stumbled down sidewalks listening to the buzz of street lamps at dusk and the crush of leaves on the pavement. Go to the woods alone, and the trees and the squirrels will watch for you. Go to an unfamiliar city, roam the streets. There's always statues to talk to and benches made for sitting give strangers a shared existence, if only for a minute. And these moments can be so uplifting, and the conversations you get in by sitting alone on benches might have never happened had you not been sitting there by yourself. Without you here, I am viciously lonely, and I can't remember the last time I felt holy. The last time I offered myself as sanctuary. Just another person, selfish, needy, wanting what every other person wants, and actually having the nerve to hope that maybe someday, maybe even after he's gone, somebody thinks of him and smiles. You could stand, swathed by groups or mobs, or hold hands with your partner, search both further and farther in the endless quest for company, but no one's in your head, and by the time you translate your thoughts, some essence of them might be lost. Or perhaps it's just kept. Perhaps in the interest of loving oneself, perhaps all those sappy slogans from preschool over to high school's groanings were just tokens for keeping the lonely at bay. Because if you're happy in your head, then solitude is blessed, and alone is okay. And blame postmodern things I can't relate, like summer camp in coastal states, like alcohol and coffee beans, dance floors and magazines. I think it's safe to say I've only got myself to blame because boys in swooping haircuts are bringing me down, taking pictures of themselves. No, I didn't know. I never finish phrases I misspell, open arms or prison cells. When I said, I hate what I've become, I lied. I hated who I was. So when you start to wonder about that pain in my throat, then don't you ever, no never, ever speak for someone you don't know. I couldn't remember when I knew I'd never be beautiful. But it must have been quick and subtle, the way the Holy Ghost can pass swiftly in and out of a room. I want so desperately to be finished with desire, the rushing wind, the still, small voice. You could be in an instant surrounded if you needed it. And that doesn't mean you're not connected, that community's not present. Just take the perspective you get from being one person in one head and feel the effects of it. Take silence and respect it. If you have an art that needs a practice, stop neglecting it. If your family doesn't get you, or a religious sect is not meant for you, don't obsess about it. It's okay if no one believes like you. No one has the same synapses, can't think like you. For this, be relieved. It keeps life interesting. Life's magic things in reach. Society is afraid of alonedom. Like lonely hearts are wasting away in basements. Like people must have problems if after a while nobody is dating them. But lonely is a freedom that breathes easy and weightless. And loneliness is healing if you make it.